Question from Chris in Oxford. He said, what did I miss with the Tennessee series? So in Saturday's game, Auburn hit a 3-run go-ahead home run. I think it was a 3-run home run. And you had a bat flip. It was a big bat flip, but a bat flip nonetheless. Just unbridled excitement from the Auburn hitter. Was it Teixeira that hit the home run?
It was not Teixeira, I don't think.
Okay.
I mean,
well, whoever it was.
It was not.
All right, so big bat flip. And it's a right-handed hitter, and so he's headed up the first base line, and he flips it, and it goes over in the direction of the Tennessee dugout. Probably a little over-exuberant. And then when it hits the turf, it takes a bounce even farther toward the Tennessee dugout, and it rolls to about 2 feet. So the sheriff himself, Tony Vitello, pops out of the dugout. He is, after all, the long arm of the law. And he grabs the bat that's laying about 2 or 3 feet in front of Tennessee's dugout. And he doesn't say anything to anybody. He doesn't toss it back toward home plate where the bat boy or bat girl can pick it up. He turns around and slings it back across toward the Auburn dugout, and it just lands right among the Auburn players who are waiting on their guy to come around, touch home plate and celebrate outside of their dugout. He picked up a 34-inch bat and slung it back across the diamond. The head coach at Auburn's players and coaches.
Those 2 words, you said it right there.
He is the head coach.
Yep.
It wasn't a player who popped out of the dugout and did it. It wasn't a GA. It wasn't an assistant coach. It was the head coach, Tony Vitello. Picks up the bat and slings it back toward Auburn. And fortunately doesn't hit anybody.
It's embarrassing is what that is. And see, I think Chase said it on the text line. He's always got good stuff to say. If I were an opponent of Tennessee, I would intentionally pester him because I think he's going to explode. If you think chest bumping an umpire and tossing a bat's the furthest he will go, I think you're wrong. And especially when they start playing teams that are competitive with them. Look at what happened. Auburn made Tennessee work for it this weekend, and look at what he did. The touching home plate with one finger and the daddy hat and the pimp robe and all that stuff that they do. All this crap that they do is fun when you're playing teams that you're better than. What's going to happen, though, in a super regional when you're playing a really good NC State team or whoever it is that ends up in Knoxville and they pop you in game 1? How's he going to handle it?
It's so funny to think about the discussion we had at the beginning of the year, about the beginning of the season, about Dave Van Horn. But, man, I wish Arkansas played Tennessee this year so that no fun league Dave Van Horn could just go ahead and get that taken care of for us. Or, like I said, if that bat had gotten a little closer, if it had hit a player, I don't know that they would have been able to stop Tim Hudson from going over there and just getting him a piece of Tony Vitello. And I think I know how that fight would have gone.
I'm going to give Chase Parham credit for this because I thought it was a really funny line. What about Butch Thompson? Are you sure that a guy named Butch from Monroe County is where you want to start a fight?
I wouldn't mess with a guy named Butch under most circumstances. I know Butch well enough to know he's such a nice guy. I don't know that I've ever seen him snap, but I know Tim Hudson would not have tolerated much more of that.
You hit my kid with a bat, and I can snap real quick.
Well, here's I was having a conversation with somebody earlier today and said, is this sustainable for Tennessee? Can they continue to play this role of bad boy, villain, on edge, looking for a fight all the time and sustain it? And here's what my response was. You remember that guy in high school that always wanted to fight? Like, there's one guy. He was, like, just looking triggered, ready to throw down at any point. I think that's Tony Vitello. And that's why Tennessee can't handle it. It's not that Tennessee's necessarily mad at you celebrating. They're just looking for a reason to fight. I don't know if that's sustainable or not. but it feels like it's kind of teetering on the edge.
It's so funny that we all thought that Vanderbilt was going to be the biggest villain in college baseball. Nope, it's their in-state rival.